on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? No, Verita, I absolutely think that worked. It's Howie's Heart of Influence. We are rocking doing the things on this trajectory Tuesday. Bella Verita, as we explore the superpower of influence with integrity. Who's here?
Sean, we definitely have some extraordinary people for Howie and Adela's triangle of trust, heart of influence today, Sean. And first, coming from Long Island, New York, HR maestro, transforming complex human capital challenges into streamlined solutions. Payroll prodigy, navigating the numbers game with precision and flair. Strategic visionary, crafting clear paths for business, navigating evolving HR landscapes. Let's welcome to the show, Connor Tanzi.
Thank you so much.
Connor, warm welcome to Howie and Adelaide's Heart of Influence. And Plato, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for years. So we kick this game off with a fun fact. Could be a proud moment, adventurous moment, scary moment, anything that's a headline, not a story. Bella's got her Chuck Barris Gong Show gong. If we go over the headline into a story, but what is your headline fact that would make us say, no way?
Oh, Connor, you're on mute. It's disastrous. This can't be. How can Connor be on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Is that your fun fact, Connor, that you're on mute?
My fun fact is I was a traveling actor for 1.5 years just out of college.
Very nice. And Connor, what was the favorite part you ever played?
So we did Shakespeare, and I was Tranio in Taming of the Shrew, so I'd have to say that one.
You're taming shrews. Am I hearing you correctly, Connor?
Taming of the Shrew, yes.
Already, here's the Taming Shrews. Come on.
Taming Shrews. Next up from Staten Island, New York, founder of a bookkeeping and accounting firm, 18 years developing relationship, impacting businesses and individuals, worked to build up others for 13 years, then went out on her own 5 years ago, now guides individuals and organizations towards meaningful success. Blending strategic insight with emotional intelligence inspires purpose-driven change and helps unlock true potential. Let's welcome to the show, Patricia Maricola.
Patricia, warm welcome to the Heart of Influence. And please, Patricia, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I am a gold medalist and karate fighting champion, and I started to do jujitsu about a year ago.
Rolling, grappling, throwing, spinning back kicks. Patricia, am I hearing you correctly?
Yep, that's all right.
Let's go, Bella Rita. Come on.
Spinning back kicks. Hopefully no one gets kicked in the head today. Coming from Brooklyn, New York, powerhouse behind two thriving businesses where recruitment meets artistry, a team matchmaker building legacy teams to boardrooms across the country, bringing vision, strategy, and heart to every placement, handcrafting, indulgent in her homemade cheesecake business, just as legendary as her leadership. Let's welcome to the show, Rachel Azagwe.
Rachel, powerhouse in the house. That's what I'm hearing in your headline. Fun fact, powerhouse.
Fun fact about me is that I opened a bake shop out of my home without any experience baking or cooking for most of my life. So,
Well, Rachel, do you like Twinkies?
Twinkies, I guess.
What's your favorite thing that you make?
Cheesecakes.
Let's go. Bella, cheesecakes are coming. Come on.
Cheesecakes are coming. I am hungry. I would like to order a pistachio cheesecake, please. We can get that sent right over, but thank you, Rachel. And welcome to the Heart of Influence. And next up from Florham Park, New York, bankruptcy to real estate, your trilingual legal ninja, try to say that 3 times, serving New York and New Jersey with brain, heart, and 30 years of firm firepower, fluent in English, Hindi, and Punjabi. I think I'm saying that correctly. Forgive me if I haven't. She is not just translating law, she's transforming lives. A community advocate spearheading South Asia community outreach in Nassau County Bar, where she is a member. Let's welcome to the show, Supreet Palmer.
Thank you.
And Bella, that's Supreet.
Supreet.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And please, Supreet, your headline fun fact.
Okay, my fun fact is that I am a trained Indian folk Bollywood dancer. I used to do that a lot when I was in school back in India. I still can shake a leg.
I happen to be, Bella, an expert in that same type of dancing as Supreet.
That's amazing.
What a coincidence.
He doesn't even know what the name of it was.
Let's shake a leg. Come on.
Let's shake a leg.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Supreet can teach us all the dance. Welcome, Supreet, to the Heart of Influence. And next up from let's go, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, Brooklyn, New York. Enrolled agent, founder of Switchback Accounting, specializing in untangling complex tax issues, transforms financial chaos into clarity for e-commerce businesses and individuals alike, recognized for her community support and excellence in tax resolution services. Let's welcome to her show, Adalea Zirkin.
And it's Adalea?
Adala.
Sorry, Adala. Thank you for causing today. Thank you for saving people from Uncle Sam and from money flying out the window. And please, what is your fun fact?
Ooh, not so fun for my parents, but when I was 2 years old, I got lost at Disneyland.
Oh my God. And how do they reclaim you?
Someone took me to Lost and Found.
Oh
And
my goodness.
that's how
You with the
that's how
Lost
it's
Boys and Peter Pan, where were you?
I don't know, I was 2.
And it's Adala?
Adala.
Adala. Thank you, Adala. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you were found. Adala coming from the lost to be found, Bella Rita, which brings us to
the one and only, coming from Hopewell Junction, New York, regional leader with Primerica for almost 20 years, with over 300 clients all over the country, turned 13 clients with massive debt to be on track to have $1 million in retirement accounts, set up numerous families to send their children to college without huge loans, focuses on putting in place programs to prevent unexpected disaster like death from turning into financial ruin. Let's welcome to his show, Mr. Howie Gershman.
Howie, please, sir. First of all, thank you for assembling these incredible folks, and for everybody, what Adel and Howie did by bringing folks together today. That's not easy to do. So appreciate that. You're offering people the value of meeting folks because we all need people to grow, build, scale our businesses and missions. So wonderful job, Adel and Howie. And please, sir, your fun fact.
Yesterday, my wife and I entered a raffle for $100, $100 raffle to win a 40-foot sailboat that's currently in the Caribbean.
Whoa. Howie, let's go.
So
And
we'll
where is
see
the
what we-
boat currently moored? Do you know? Howie?
Curacao? It's near Grenada, so way down by
Curacao?
South America. No,
Oh.
Curacao, not Curacao. It's
Wow.
I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it's similar.
Wow. Do not know this one. Super
Okay.
cool. I would love to
I'll have to
find
look it
out.
up.
Howie.
Yeah.
And shall we do the thing, sir?
Absolutely, that's what I'm waiting for.
This brings us to the woman doing the introducing. This woman started her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. She progressed to being a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing at 19 years old. Teenager, network marketing, 7 figures. Only in the case of Bella Rita, 24, 25, 26 years old, she becomes Nevada's #1 business broker. She's three-peating like Michael Jordan, just not in hoops, but also as the youngest person ever, male or female, and first woman ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker. Take that, dudes, in that male-dominated industry. She goes on to train Fortune 500 companies. We're talking the big boys and the big girls. And then she also trains entrepreneurs and sales teams. In fact, in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer. It better be a blind man today. That's what I got to say. Who taught her to do all those amazing things. She's also a 2-time, about to be 3-time published author. That was a philanthropist raising $10 million with the Unblinded team. And this courageous, resilient woman publicly battled and defeated cancer in 2023. Let's welcome to Adela and Howie's Heart of Influence, the woman in her 1700th plus episode that put the heart in this show, the one, the only, Bella Burrito. Miss Bella Rita, I am humbled. I'm honored to make your introduction. And please, your headline fun fact.
Yes. Well, since I already did share in the green room that I did learn to surf ski and scuba dive from a blind man, I'm going to go with the fun fact that I used to do karate with my dad. And one time my dad was practicing a roundhouse kick over my head and he roundhouse kicked into my head. And I survived and I am still here to tell the story. So that is my fun fact for today. I have been kicked in the head by my father.
Oh my goodness. Who is, by the way, a 3-time combat tour veteran. Thank your dad for his service that kicked you in the head. 10 fingers, 10 toes, however, and a clear, brilliant brain. So Bella, it must have worked out. Where are we going?
It knocked some sense into me, as they say. But let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he is an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million in 2 years for charity. Let's welcome to the stage, the one, the only, Sean!
Adela, how we appreciate the possibility of today. Warm welcome to everybody again. Bella, great job as always. And I'm going to go with this as my fun fact for today. Yes, I'm a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski double black diamonds in blizzards, to surf in hurricane conditions, and to scuba dive with sharks. And in fact, 2 years ago, I was surfing when a shark actually bit my surfboard as I surfed past it. That is a true fun fact. I still have the board, Bella Vrita, sharks can't get me either. Let's go.
No, but no sharks can, nothing can take you down, that's for sure. And Sean, shall we do the things? What are we doing?
So what we're doing is we're exploring the superpower of integrous influence because of course that's what causes everything in our marketing, in our leadership, management, selling, recruitment, fundraising, for profit, not for profit. All of it comes after one word, and that word is yes. But we're not talking about pitching, hooking, closing, like yuck. Who wants to do that? This isn't Shark Tank, Wolf of Wall Street, or Boiler Room. However, what does it look like when heart-centered, sophisticated people come together and yes should happen? Let's say it's Adela and she's got a way to help you with your taxes, but people are hearing all the noise working with suboptimal people. How does she get her message through? How do you get your message through? So to illustrate this, you will join the more than 8,000 people that have been on this show in our little fun research and development laboratory where you get some introductions and maybe even more than that. So Bella could be an ideal client. She could be a charitable fundraising partner. Heck, she could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett. Anybody you'd want her to be. But what this is about is going from hello to yes. Doesn't have to be a sale, doesn't have to be a final yes, just could be a yes for a longer conversation. Bella, who's going first?
We are definitely kicking it off with Connor.
Connor, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
I mean, a lot of what I do is talk with accountants. I would imagine that would be a good way to go. You know,
Bella's accountant stuff. Come on, Bella.
I'm counting stuff. All right, let's do it. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Connor with Paychecks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Connor. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well. I wanted to let you know I work with a number of small businesses in the neighborhood. We help a lot of mom and pop shops with payroll and their HR needs. And I would love a chance to connect and make sure that I can help you, your clients, and if you're looking to grow your business, I could certainly help you with that as well.
Sounds interesting. How does that work? Are you going to write me checks?
So yeah, that's one of the pieces that we offer. We certainly help businesses pay their employees, and then we make sure that they're not only doing well as a business, but thriving, making sure that they have a proactive approach because as you could see post-pandemic, a lot of businesses don't necessarily either know what they need to do or want to make sure that they're on a trajectory that's going to make sure they're not only doing well, but doing extremely well. So do you have 10 minutes sometime next week? I can pop in and show you a little bit more about what Paychex has to offer.
Well, I'm just curious, because I get these calls all the time, and I'm just curious, like, does your company have any specialties or any sort of kind of companies you don't work with?
So I'll answer the first one first. Yeah, so I think what's important is I'm really the go-to person and I focus in one area. So we want to make sure that the businesses that you're working with, I mean, you know, if you're multi-state, that might be tricky, but I can still do a virtual call with them. But we generally go to them and make sure that they're set up and square. That's the biggest factor I would say is I just got off the phone a moment ago. There's a bagel shop down the road. I'm a big bagel fanatic too, so I'll be popping in probably more regularly than necessary. But we set him up for payroll, and you know he's got 2 employees, and he's good to go. And then in terms of, I think your second question was, is there anybody that we don't? Could you repeat that? Don't partner with?
Yeah, any companies that you don't typically work with?
Not necessarily. I mean, going to the HR piece, we offer a lot of things in the 401k, insurance. And so we obviously integrate with those third parties in order to make sure it's a seamless approach.
Got it. Okay. I mean, if you want to stop by next week and, we can see where we can go from there.
Excellent. I look forward to chatting with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Excellent job, Connor. Wonderful work, Miss Bella Vrita. And Bella, who's following up Connor?
Following up Connor, we have Patricia.
Patricia, please, who would you like Bella to be?
A messy construction client with very bad bugs.
Oh, Bella, you have a very messy construction company with very bad books. Interesting,
I
Bella.
can get myself into some messy situations sometimes.
Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella. My name's Patricia Maricola, and I saw your ad, actually, your billboard on one of the construction sites as I was driving by. I figured I'd give you a call.
Awesome. What are you giving me a call about?
Yeah, so I'm here local in the neighborhood. My office is right actually down the block, and we do bookkeeping, office management. We help businesses just like yours kind of stay out of the office and in the construction fields doing what you do best so we could handle what we do best.
And what is it that you guys do exactly?
Yeah, so I wanted to see if maybe we could schedule some time where I could stop in, kind of get to know you, maybe see how you are. But we help businesses streamline their office processes so that way you know what your income and your expenses are on a monthly basis. And then when it comes down to your accountant, when you have to file your tax return at the end of the year, you'll have all of your records ready for them. So we kind of have that conversation either on a monthly, quarterly basis, depending on what your needs are. Or we could even come in and help you do your invoicing and pay your bills and kind of put those things out of your head so that way you could be out there building and doing what you do best.
That sounds sounds interesting. Would love to maybe you can stop by and we can have a longer conversation and see where we can go from there.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Awesome job. Great job, Patricia. Great job, Connor. And now we get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for Patricia or Connor, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little scoring system. Is that scoring system you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Patricia or Connor? I don't think anybody's wanting a root canal today. But maybe that next conversation is a little mocha chocolate and a little croissante over some Starbucks for a little bit longer of a meeting. But Connor's turning his nose up to Starbucks. I have a feeling like he's like, no, Starbucks, I don't do that, but take my local coffee shop. Maybe I'll do that instead. I caught that snubbing of Starbucks, Connor. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. But maybe for Connor, since he snubbed Starbucks, it's gonna be a little private dinner, maybe at the Capitol Grill, Seafood Towers, nice juicy steaks because over dinner or lunch you can have even a longer conversation. But if that's not enough time and you want the most time with Patricia or Connor, you'd be willing to rent a private jet, of course, stopping and pick up Howie because he did invite you here, and then fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting with, and we want to include Ayla too, have the longest meeting possible. So let's kick it off with Rachel. Rachel, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Patricia, please? Oh, just unmute for us.
Now I am Connor. Patricia, I think you did really great. I personally would have shortened and be a little more concise with your intro and be more confident. Just as far as showing strength over the phone, and the first few minutes are really important. But overall, I think you did great. You did get a yes from her at the end of the day. So that's my feedback.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you for that, Rachel. A little cup of coffee, maybe a meal, something longer. What would the next step be?
Sorry, I don't fully get that.
Yeah, like we're just having a little bit of fun saying like, hey, how well did it go? So would you have a
Right.
short, medium, or long follow-up if you were in the seat
Oh,
of
cup
Bella?
of coffee.
I'm sorry?
Cup of coffee?
All right, let's go. Some caffeine flowing. Good job, Patricia. Come on, Bella.
Caffeine is flowing. Next up, let's go Supreet. Supreet, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Connor, please?
Okay, so I think Connor did really well. He was very persuasive, and he was quick with explaining that what kind of services he's provided to other people in the neighborhood, and what kind of options you may have. I think he could have given Bella a little bit of more chance to speak. But other than that, he did very well and he got a yes out of her. So I think that was good.
All right, Supreet, little cup of coffee, a meal, something longer. Will the next step be, Supreet?
I think a cup of coffee.
All right, caffeine, got a double shot, Bella. Come on.
Double shot of caffeine. Let's go. Adela, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Patricia, please?
Ooh, so first off, this is not for Patricia. This is for Bella. Bella, you usually give people a harder time with getting to yes. What is going on?
I was feeling a little generous today.
But Patricia, I think what you did was great getting Bella to say yes to a longer conversation. And I like that your goal was actually not so it your goal was not so extreme, like you were trying to get her to say yes to a sale in a 3-minute conversation. It was just to get her to say yes to a longer conversation. That was really good. um just between you and me, because I used to be a bookkeeper myself, the one thing I learned is that clients do not care about clean books. They really don't. They don't care if they don't care if the numbers line up. They don't care to understand their numbers. They just want it done, and they just don't want to pay the tax man. So yes, definitely would sit down for a cup of coffee, maybe some lunch. But yeah, they really don't care.
Nice, Ada. Little lunch coming. Got a double shot and got some food coming. Bella, come on.
Food is coming. Last but not least, we got Howie. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Connor, please.
So Connor had a nice conversation with you about coming over to help you out. And one of the things I was just to sweeten the pot, even though you got to a yes, very good, very good. Maybe stop off maybe a dozen bagels on the way over and drop them off from the bagel shop that he talked about. So I'm going for Seafood Tower. We're going all the way.
That sounds good.
All right, let's go all the way there, Howie. Having some fun. And Howie, you know what time it is. The one.
Oh, yeah.
Bella, of Rita, and you give me a hard time. Come on, Bella.
Yes. So, as Howie knows and Howie sometimes comes up with, this is the time in the show that we have the honor and the privilege of putting our co-host Sean Callaghan on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because Connor, Patricia, you guys both had to go on the hot seat, and I like to pay him back for you. So, Howie, my question for you is: do you already have a scenario for Sean? He's given me a yes. All right, let's hear what you got.
All right. So my co-sponsor here, Adela, is a very nice person. We talked to, she's an accountant, does all kinds of good stuff. But there's her cousin, though. He's a pain in the neck. And cousin's name is Abe. And Abe calls her every freaking year for a donation to his kid's school. It's annoying. He doesn't care about her. All he wants is her money once a year or more. And it's awful. And she is fed up with it. So, Sean, you are now Abe. Abe, and you're calling Adela, or your cousin Adela, for yet another donation to your kid's school that nobody cares about, except you maybe. And get Adela to pony up some more money again that she doesn't want to do.
Okay. So, so I'm Abe, is that right, Howie?
You're Abe.
Okay. And I'm seeking additional money for the school, correct?
Correct.
And how many times has Adel given before?
I don't know. How many? Zero. Oh, zero. You haven't given it to me yet, but okay. We are persistent.
Okay. And the school is what type of school?
Private school.
Private school. Got it. Okay. Hi, is Adela available?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's Abe, your cousin. I know we had a 3-minute call scheduled. I'm so grateful that you took the call. Is it still a good time for you?
Sure.
Okay. And if I could ask, cousin, what prompted you to accept this conversation with me? I'm super grateful, but why did you say yes in the first place?
Just because I like your mom.
I know. And you don't like me very much. Am I clear, cousin?
Yeah, you haven't given me a reason to like you.
I'm very, very sorry. So can I ask this question? How can I be a better cousin to you?
Ooh, phew. maybe take an interest in my life. Um, maybe have a conversation that's not about donating to your kid's school.
Well, I'm sorry that I've made you feel that way. And aside asking for donations for my children's school, how else have I not been there for you, and how else have I made you feel unseen, Adela? And I'm really sorry. Please.
Uh, yeah, just we don't really have much of a relationship. You know, I really like your mom and all, but you know, we haven't had anything to do with each other really for the past like 10 years, besides for your annual text.
Any annual text about the donation?
Hmm.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that you'd like to, well, I'm not sure if you'd like this. Would you like to have a better relationship? Would you like me just to leave your life? Like, where would you like to go from here?
I honestly don't know. Like, you're my cousin. You can't really leave my life. But there's like hundreds of other cousins, so like I also don't really need you.
Yeah. Well, so can I ask this, like, with then, thank you. And I'll try to do better since we can't leave each other's life, and maybe we can start right now. So, quick question. How is the business going? I know you do great stuff with people, but how are things going? And are you in a place you want to grow or not? Like, what's happening?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I kind of doubled my business last year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. All
no complaints.
right. So, would you like to keep growing, or like, where does that sit for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I
Like,
could grow, if
what's the ultimate vision, Adel? And I'm sorry, I've never asked this before.
uh my ultimate vision is to um get it up to $500,000 a year in sales. I'd like to have, let's say, several employees, not entirely sure how many. Yeah.
Cool. And your ideal client, what's your ideal client?
My ideal client is someone facing crazy tax issues like their bank account is about to get levied or their passport's about to get suspended. And this is in addition to the hundreds of thousands of dollars they owe in taxes.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And so from that place, in our final few seconds here, I know you're tight on time and not excited to be speaking with me. Can I share a couple quick things that may or may not resonate with you, Adela?
Sure.
Yep. So yes, calling about the school and the donation, but here's a thought.
Mhm.
What if I was able to create a speaking engagement at a back to school night at the private school? These are parents that obviously have the means to send their children to private school. Some of them, at least, seem like they would be potentially excellent clients for you. Would that be valuable for you if I said, hey, don't worry about the donation. If you want to make a donation, make a donation. Um, and to make up, maybe I can cover the donation and to recreate a relationship, but I'd really like to provide you the value of a speaking engagement if that's valuable to you, Adela. So what say you?
Uh, I mean, it's a nice idea, but I just I don't think that I don't want to put the parents in an uncomfortable situation where they would potentially have any flaws highlighted in a public setting. Um, but if the speaking engagement would be on something slightly like unrelated, but I could like slip in what I do as a in tax resolution, I think that would be valuable.
Yeah, I think it certainly could because don't you have a friend named Howie, colleague,
Hmm.
Howie Gershman? What if you both came in and you talked about financial issues, tax issues, and people could click a link, right? We could put a call to action up on the board and they can contact you privately. Would that be valuable and worthwhile for you?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. And so how does that feel? Like no strings attached. I'll send you the link about a donation. I'll never know if you do or you don't. That's up to you. But I will make sure I get this done and get you in front of these folks in a beautiful way because they have some, with it being a private school, they have some opportunities for people to come in and add value to the parents. And I really think I can get this done. I may have only one opportunity for the entire year to do that, but Adel, I'd like to do it for you to begin to recreate our family relationship. And how does that feel for you?
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm still hearing hesitancy. Like, I'm not looking for a medal, but if this isn't something that you want to do, I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm not going to be disappointed if you don't accept. I really am trying to have a no strings attached beginning of a recreation of our relationship.
Yeah, I, I'm not entirely sure that the parents would show up to this sort of thing.
No, no. I will make sure that the parents are there. They come. Like there would probably be a couple of presentations that night, but there's an 80% show up rate for the parents.
Oh, that's something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, if you could do that, I'm on board.
Yeah, because they do a fun little thing with the kids, and then they have the parents, a couple of value adds for the parents. It's something, unique and distinct to the private school. So, how does that feel for you?
That feels good. I like that.
Awesome. And can we, that's a yes, it's done. What I'm hoping you can consider is if we could begin to recreate our relationship. I'm not asking for a yes right now. That wasn't done as manipulation, but I really hope in my heart I could be a better cousin to you and we can have an opportunity to recreate our relationship. And I thank you, Adelaide. Is there anything else I could do for you right now?
Yeah, no, I would be interested in that. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I'll get that all set. So out of roll, Adelaide, how to do is Abe having a conversation with you about the school, donations, and things.
So I honestly think you did great. The funny thing is, this Abe character is based on a real cousin that I do have, and he's actually running his annual campaign literally this week. And you we've never had this conversation, him and me. Like, he's been texting me every year, and one year I finally pushed back, and he hasn't texted me since, but he still texts everyone else in my family. So you did way better than I imagine he would ever think of.
Well, thank you for that, Adelaide. Appreciate you and Adelaide. Thanks for assembling everybody here today on the Heart of Influence. And how was your time today on your Heart of Influence, your final?
Final was, I had a great time. I'd love to hear about everyone else's time.
All right, let's go do it. Thank you, Adelaide. Connor, thanks for kicking us off in that participant seat. Never an easy place to be. You did a masterful job. Connor, how was your time today on Adelaide and Howie's Heart of Influence, Connor?
It was fantastic. I learned a lot, and it's a great group, a lot of like-minded people. So I was very happy to join today. Thank you for the time.
Well, thank you very much. And Patricia, thank you for what you provided today and the value, the energy, the presence, and how was your time today on Howie and Adelaide's Heart of Influence, Patricia?
I really enjoyed my time. Thank you for having me. And I'll second what Connor said. I definitely learned a lot. So great takeaways from today. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Spell Rita.
Yes, and I want to acknowledge that we had Susan join us about halfway through, I think, your role play. So Susan, just want to say welcome to the Heart of Influence, but I would definitely get with Howie and come to a show that starts from the very beginning so you don't miss the entire context, but wanted to say hello and welcome. And let's go, Rachel, who has now made me hungry for cheesecake. Rachel, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was fascinating. Really enjoyed a lot. I feel like I learned a lot kind of in mostly in my last call with Shauna and Adela kind of going at it. I like that Shauna was like using a lot of compassion and, relating a lot to Adel's concern instead of selling, but I feel like I learned a lot from there. So thank you for that. And yeah, this has been great.
Great job, Rachel. Received with gratitude and appreciated your presence today. Bella.
And the woman who's going to teach us to dance and shake a leg, Saprit, thank you for being here. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
I had a great time, and I think this was a very interactive meeting where everybody kind of gets to talk and listen. And I think the last little activity we did between Sean and Idella was really nice, and I liked how Sean was very persuasive, empathetic, soft-spoken, trying to accomplish what he was trying to get a yes out of her. So I think it was really good.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Spreet, and wonderful work. This, Bella, brings us to the man of the hour, or the woman of the hour, Adelaide. Howie, appreciate you. This is a growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous human committed to mastery. That's just who Howie is and what he is. So thank you for everything you do, Howie, and please, your final Howie.
Yeah, this is always a great time. I love bringing people together and finding where they're inspired to learn a little more, and especially with you as a model and example. And Bella has the fun energy bouncing off the walls. It's always a fun way to be here. So just want to point out that a little later, I'm going to email everybody all your contact information so you can follow up and have conversations with them and me for sure. And so just remember that this is the first time most of you have met. Just make sure it's not the last time.
No, thank you for that, Howie. And for everyone, appreciate you being here. There's tons more that we seek to do with growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous people committed to mastery, like Howie and Adelaide. And as a value add for you, the world is going crazy talking about artificial intelligence, but we've created something called actualized intelligence. This is something that is profoundly ahead of just random chat GPT. So if you're interested in accelerating what you're up to, have an acceleration session as our gift. Thank you for being here today because of Howie and Adelaide, and it will rock your world. The feedback on this show and your participation in it. Like, what will your scoring be? How could you optimize energetically? The depth of analysis will blow your mind. And if it doesn't, then I'll pay for you to go to dinner anywhere that you want if you have that acceleration session, because we're looking to perpetuate integrous influence on the planet. 8,000 people have been here. Nobody's taken me up on dinner yet. And that was before we had actualized intelligence. This is blowing people's minds. Belvrita, your final, because you sat in Connor and Patricia's seat.
I did sit in Connor and Patricia's seat, and full transparency, I came because I just wanted to teach Sean everything I knew about sales and influence, because, I was a #1 business broker and all the things, and I thought he should learn some things from me. But I quickly realized that he should still learn things from me. I mean, that's not what I meant. I quickly realized he actually knows a lot more about influence than I do. And I have learned so much in the last 4.5 years. And I would definitely, what we're doing with AI is incredible. So I definitely have that business acceleration session so you have access to that. And Sean, thank you for everything that you do here on Unblinded. And I still continue to learn every day. And I keep sticking around this place 4.5 years later. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Howie, Adela, for putting such an extraordinary group together today. And Sean, back to you, sir.
Thank you, Bella. And I continue to learn from you and Howie, an extraordinary guest every single day. Mastery is about a never-ending journey of growth and learning. Easy to say, maybe a little bit easier to live, but can we actually access those points? They're here for you if you want to have a follow-up conversation. And thank you very much. And as Howie said, make sure you speak with each other. We end every show by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain as to the possibilities for acceleration that sit right in front of all of us, accelerating our financial abundance, our scaling, duplication, our impact in the world. And so often all those things, those screw turns sit right here. But with everything for acceleration sitting right here, Bella, Howie, Adelaide, with it all right here, at some level, you're all blind
and just learning to see. Thank you all for being here. Have a great day.